Welcome to VNA Health Highlights, a program of the Visiting Nurse Association of Cape Cod. I'm Jean Sarnowski, and on today's program we're going to learn a little bit more about 5 wishes. And we're lucky to have with us here today the VNA's community liaison for our hospice program, Sarah Andres. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is such a great topic, and I'm sure people have seen these things in the doctor's offices and maybe are curious or have never filled them out, think they should, and that's what we'll talk about today.
Great.
But before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in VNA or healthcare.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for having me. And my name's Sarah Andres. I'm the liaison for the Hospice and Palliative Care Program. And I have been lucky enough to work for Cape Cod Healthcare for about 9 years. And I have been proud of that. We're lucky as a community to have such a wonderful healthcare organization. And last year I joined the VNA because I was looking for a new challenge.
Where were you before then?
Before that, I was at Cape Cod Hospital.
Okay.
So I wanted to leave the hospital and find a job where I could be working in the community. So this palliative care and hospice position was presented to me, and although it was hospice and palliative care was new to me, I wanted to learn everything I possibly could about hospice and palliative care. And after working with the VNA for a year, I've learned that there are a lot of misconceptions about hospice and palliative care. So the more people that I can talk to and help them understand what palliative care and hospice is, the better.
That is great.
I love it.
Yeah, great. I'm so glad you're here. So hospice, that's a different industry than being in the hospital system. So, and a little frightening for people.
Right.
And people maybe think of it as a place, which
Right.
it's not.
Which it's not.
Okay.
And people think, some people think that hospice is really just for, you know, your very last hours or days. And in reality, it can be for many months, 6 months, or sometimes even more than that.
I'm sure viewers have had that experience, either themselves or people that they know, loved ones and friends, that have had various times in hospice service that could speak to that as
Right.
well. Yeah.
And it seems to be that hospice can bring such comfort and relief to families, they wish they accessed the hospice benefit earlier.
Yeah.
So that's why when we talk about 5 wishes, it's great to start thinking about end-of-life care and planning before you need it.
That's it. While we're still thinking happy thoughts.
Right, exactly.
So let's talk about that. So the 5 wishes
Great.
is a program.
Well, the 5 wishes is actually a booklet.
Okay.
And it's an advanced directive or a living will, and it's written in everyday language, and has wonderful information in it, and it helps you to think about your healthcare wishes, and most importantly, communicate them with your friends and family. So it's a wonderful communication tool for patients and families.
Is it something that we think about towards the end, or is this something that everybody should do no matter where they are in the game?
This is a tool that everybody can fill out today.
Okay, so I've not done one, so I should do one.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely, absolutely. Anybody can fill one out today to help get them thinking about what you may or may not want if you're ever become unable to speak for yourself.
And for someone that maybe is caring for someone who's not well, they could help facilitate filling this out, or if, say, they had filled it out ahead of time, what a great gift it is to the person that's doing the caregiving today, because then there's no question about
Right.
what
Right.
the final wishes might be.
Exactly, exactly. Filling a 5 wishes out is a gift, not only to yourself, but to your caregivers, because it eliminates the bedside guessing game. It eliminates the questions on what you really want at the end of your life.
Okay.
It speaks of there's medical and legal issues that are discussed in here, but it also speaks to matters of the heart and spiritual issues and family reconciliation issues and memorial service issues, and it covers everything.
Okay. How is it different from, say, an advance directive or a living will?
The company that created this 5 Wishes, Aging with Dignity, they have said on their website that the 5 Wishes has been called many times the only living will with a heart and a soul.
Ah,
Because it touches on all of the issues in a person's life.
okay. So for viewers that might be familiar with a living will or advance directives, they may not cover all the pieces that the 5 Wishes has.
Right.
So this seems like a broader spectrum, talk
Right.
about everything.
Exactly.
Do people fill this out alone or together or with?
You certainly can fill it out alone, because it does make you think about some emotional, personal issues. But 5 Wishes suggests that you fill it out with your loved one, with your family, or maybe if you're a parent and you have a few children, to fill it out together. So a wonderful conversation can come out of it. So everybody understands what your wishes are.
Ah, so there are no surprises when it comes to
Exactly.
that point, or no contesting. Yeah, but I'm sure she would have preferred blah,
Exactly.
blah, blah, right?
Exactly. And to have those conversations before you're in a crisis in the hospital
Right.
can make all the difference in the world for a family.
And then once it's filled out, and maybe I'm getting ahead, so I'm sorry, but is it shared with anyone, or is it just kept to oneself and says, if anything happens to me, please go find this book?
Yes, that is a wonderful question, because the key is the communication.
Okay.
You absolutely do not want to just keep it to yourself.
Okay.
You want to share it with your loved ones. You want to share it with your doctor, because you perhaps you need to have perhaps you have some questions for your doctor, and you want to make sure that your doctor understands your wishes, of course.
Right.
So you absolutely want to communicate
Okay.
it.
Does it take effect at a certain point, or whenever you say it does?
Well, it takes effect when it's filled out properly and signed and witnessed, which we can talk about in
Okay.
a few minutes.
Okay.
But it takes effect when a doctor decides that you cannot speak for yourself any longer, when you're medically unable to speak for yourself.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Is it a legal document?
Yes, it absolutely is.
So it would be recognized by the
By-
state or
Right. The
healthcare facility?
The company, the authors of the 5 Wishes worked closely with the American Bar Association, Commission on Law and Aging, to make sure that it meets the advance directive statutes in 42 of the 50 states. And right in the
Wow.
second page, there's a list of all of the states where 5 Wishes is recognized as a legal document. Massachusetts, where we are, is one of those states.
Wow.
So when it's signed and witnessed, it's a complete legal document.
Great. So for those watching that maybe already have a living will or advance directives, does this replace that, or do we put them all together somehow?
Well, the 5 Wishes is supposed to accompany those documents.
Okay.
So in Massachusetts, we have a healthcare proxy. That's a requirement. If you go into the hospital or if you're on the VNA, we need you to have a healthcare proxy. So the 5 Wishes is in addition to your healthcare proxy. You're going to pick the same person to be your healthcare proxy, but the 5 Wishes gets into so much more detail.
Yeah.
And so if you already have a living will, you want to make sure that both documents are saying the same thing. Or maybe you'll read the 5 Wishes and realize it's so wonderful, you might want to destroy that living will you
Okay.
used to have and go to
And
this.
use this instead.
So if you have a living will that you made with your lawyer and want to create this, you either need to make sure that they're saying the same thing
Good idea.
or just stick with the 5 Wishes.
Yes. Yeah, and it would replace it.
Right.
Okay. Now, I don't know how many viewers we might have from other states, but what was it, 42?
Right, 42 of the 50.
Wow, are there some that are conspicuously missing?
Well, if you,
I'm thinking people that might be in Florida that are 6 months here and 6 months there.
that's a great question. Florida is a 5 wishes state.
Good.
So that wouldn't be a problem. But if you do live or if you move to a state where 5 wishes is not legally recognized, you still have to follow the rules of that state. But many people say that they still fill out a 5 wishes because the conversations that come from
Yeah.
it and the things that you're able to express in the 5 wishes is still invaluable.
Right.
So you would keep your 5 wishes with your state documents.
Okay. So if the state we move to has some other format, other document, one could use this as a template because you've already jumped through all the hoops and
Exactly.
gave it all the thought. You could just transfer it into the other and then they could go together.
Exactly.
All right. So the healthcare agent is an important person
Yes.
in this document.
It
Can you
is.
talk about who that person is?
It sure is. So now we're going to talk about the wishes.
Okay.
The 5 wishes.
Okay.
So like you said, the healthcare agent is wish number 1.
Okay.
And it explains here that you want to choose somebody who you have confidence can communicate for you if you can't communicate for yourself, who can advocate for you and make sure that your wishes are known and followed. So it gives some good information here on how to choose the right person. And for couples, sometimes the spouse is a wonderful choice, sometimes not. Sometimes a family member is a great choice, sometimes not. And you have to think about it and make sure that you're picking somebody that can really advocate for you.
Why sometimes not? Because it gets too close, probably. Is that
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Or maybe you just want to make sure that somebody can advocate for
Sure.
you. If you pick somebody that has completely different views than you,
Right.
you don't know if they'd really be able to advocate for you if you can't speak
So
for
that's part of
yourself.
the discussion is we both need to helps to believe the same, think the same way.
Right.
All right. So that'll guide people into choosing the right person.
Exactly. And then the 5 wishes has all of these bullet points which explains what your healthcare agent is going to be able to do for you. The choices that they're going to be able to make, the things that they can consent to for you, decisions about organ donation, consent to move you to an assisted living facility, decisions and consents on taking away medical treatments or artificial feeding. All of these
Wow.
things that your healthcare agent might be called to do are listed here.
Okay.
Which, again, we get back to that communication piece
Right.
because some people might not know all of this, or there's a line right here where you can write additional things you want your healthcare agent to be able to do or not. So the great thing about the 5 wishes, and we'll see when we talk a little more, is you can cross things out.
Oh, okay.
You can decide, yes, I want my agent to be able to do all these things or not. So
And this is only if I am unable to do this for myself,
Exactly.
is that right? Okay.
right.
So that gets a little tricky, but in a good way that it's very specific. So
Yes.
for the role of the healthcare agent, who might be feeling a little shy about, whoa, I don't want that responsibility.
Exactly.
If it's all done ahead of time in your words and your wishes, then they're simply carrying out something that's been decided by you anyway.
Exactly.
All right, so they need not be afraid of the responsibility
Right,
that goes
exactly.
with it.
And just like 5 wishes says, this tool is a gift
Yeah,
to your healthcare agent and to your loved ones
Right.
because the theme is that it eliminates the bedside guessing game.
yes. All right.
Yep.
Okay, wish number 2, your wishes for the kind of medical treatment you want.
Right. So this is another great section because it speaks to pain control and life support treatment. And it goes through in detail what life support treatment is medically.
Like,
And
does it give us
it
some
sure does. It
examples?
says life support treatment includes medical devices to help you breathe, food and water supplied by a medical device or a tube feeding, CPR, major surgery, blood transfusion, dialysis, antibiotics,
Okay.
anything else meant to keep you alive.
Okay.
So if you want to limit the meaning of life support to yourself because of personal or religious beliefs, it gives you the opportunity to write that here. And it also speaks about pain control, which is another tough topic for some people because sometimes pain medication can make people sleepy or drowsy. And talking about your thoughts on pain control before you're in a crisis can be very helpful to your family because they won't have to guess, oh, would my husband or mom or dad want pain medicine?
Right.
What if they become too drowsy? You can talk about this ahead of time.
Ahead of time. Because likelihood would be they're in a state that they're not communicating that well anyway.
Right.
So really pain control would be very important
Right.
and a good decision to make in advance.
Right.
And sleepy would be okay
Right.
for most people.
For most people.
I would guess. Okay.
Right. And the second piece of this is that there are 3 conditions here where you can choose if you would like life support or not, or if life support treatment has been started, you might want it stopped. But it speaks to if you are likely to die in a short period of time and life support would only delay the moment of death, you get to check off what you would or would not want. It speaks to if you're in a coma and you're not expected to wake up, if you would want life support or not, or if you have permanent or severe brain damage and you're not expected to recover, if you would want life support or not, or and then there's this section here too that it says that you want to have life support treatment if your doctor believes it could help, but you want your doctor to stop giving you life support treatment if it is not helping your health condition or symptoms.
So the doctor plays a role here
Right.
too.
And a lot of people like that answer.
Option. Yeah, I bet.
So people have very strong opinions about
Yeah.
these check boxes.
Yeah.
But
What a great opportunity though to get it down on paper
Exactly.
and thought about ahead of time.
exactly.
That's heavy stuff.
It
It
is.
is, yeah.
It is. So
But it's a good conversation again to, what'd you call it, bedside?
to eliminate the bedside
Yeah.
guessing game. So it is heavy to go through this document. But everyone seems to say when you have the conversation, as hard as it is, you feel a little bit better
Yeah,
afterwards.
so glad, right.
And then it gives a space to add in anything else that's important to you. If you have a chronic disease that you've been battling for a lot of years, you might have some very specific wishes on when you do not want life support.
Right.
So this is, again, it always gives you this nice space to write your
To
own.
customize it a little. Okay.
Exactly.
And then the third one is how comfortable you want to be.
Right. This is wishes 3, 4, and 5
Okay.
are really what make the 5 wishes unique because it speaks to personal, spiritual, and emotional wishes.
Okay.
So wish 3 is for how comfortable you want to be, and you might agree with all of them, or there might be some that you want to cross off. And they just speak to you want your pain treated, you want to be kept clean and dry, you want religious readings, you want music playing,
wow.
you want poems to be read, and you might want that you want to know about hospice care to make sure that all of your
Yeah.
needs are being met. And this is, people can get very creative here because there might be things that they are very particular about
Right.
and want or don't want.
I
But
want
this
my
is
dog to visit every day.
exactly right. Right. Maybe you want your pet, or this is interesting too because some people are adamant about people they don't want to see or things that they absolutely do not want.
Yes.
But again, it gives you a chance to voice that
Yes.
to everybody that you love.
Yeah. Good one.
So that one, that
Okay.
wish 3 is great. And wish 4 is similar, but it's your wishes for how you want people to treat you. And this talks about that you want people to be with you. You don't want to be alone. Or you want to have your hand held. You want people praying for you. And again, some people are like, yes, I would like all of that. And others say absolutely no way to some of these, and you
Really?
can
Yeah.
cross them out. And
It's very thoughtful.
it is. And a funny story came from the last time that we presented this in the community. It says that you wish to have members of your faith community told that you're sick and pray for you. Some people love that idea, but this one woman that we met at a senior center said no way did she want to be on that prayer list, with everybody praying for her. But
Because they'll announce it and everyone will know I'm sick and I'm fine. I don't want everybody to know I'm
exactly.
sick. Right?
So
I can see that. Yeah.
it's just a wonderful opportunity to have your wishes known
Yes.
to everybody that would be taking care of you.
Yeah.
And wish number 5 is, in my opinion, is kind of the hardest one to get through because it speaks to what you want your loved ones to know. That you want your friends and family to know that you love them. Maybe you need to be forgiven for something. Maybe you have people you want to make peace with. It gives a wonderful list of all these things that you might want people to know that you haven't communicated yet, as well as a space for you to write anything additional. And it speaks to whether you would want a memorial service or not, and what you might
wow.
want that to be like.
That's important because that seems to have changed over time. And there's the full-blown funeral, wake the day before, and people seem to be getting away from that. And this would be a good opportunity if someone felt strongly about it to make that clear that they either, yes, they want that, I like the tradition, or
Right.
let's simplify and just have.
Right, exactly. And it if there's a memorial service, it gives you the opportunity to list specific readings you would want, specific songs that you might want. And if that's a little bit too emotional for you to write down, there is one space right here that says, the following person knows my funeral wishes.
Oh,
So that too, people like that piece because even if you don't want to write it all down and share it with everybody, at least you can say, so-and-so knows my
Knows.
wishes.
without
that
everyone
part,
knowing.
that part is nice. And it also speaks about organ donation, which is very specific for people, and it gives you the opportunity to write all of your wishes around that too.
Wow. Then how does it wrap up? So those are the 5 wishes.
So those are the 5 wishes.
Those are good. And it does seem, again, very thoughtful that they've certainly had experience with people at the end of life that are talking about these things, or these are the
Exactly.
things that haven't been decided, and thus let's put them in there because it
Exactly.
needs to be.
One of the founders of the company Aging with Dignity worked for many years with Mother Teresa. So he says that many of the things that are in the 5 wishes are from his years with Mother Teresa. And he speaks to how Mother Teresa really cared for people inside and out. So you can absolutely tell
You
in the
can feel
document.
that
Yes.
in the document.
You absolutely can.
So does it guarantee that my wishes will be followed to have that all in place? That's such a big word, guarantee.
I know, right? That if you fill out the 5 wishes and sign it and communicate your wishes with your healthcare agent, then your healthcare agent should do their best to guarantee that all of your wishes are
Okay.
carried out. And if your doctor is familiar with everything that's in the 5 wishes, then hopefully they would advocate for all of your wishes to be followed as well.
Okay. So does having it notarized, so it should be notarized, is that right? Or not?
It's required for notarization in 4 states. Massachusetts is not one of those. So if you would like to have it notarized, you can go right ahead, but it's not required in Massachusetts. So you sign the 5 wishes,
Okay.
and it explains very clearly that you need to have it witnessed and signed by 2 people. And then you need to communicate it.
Okay.
So
Who has a copy then?
that's a great question. You should make sure that your healthcare agent has a copy, your physician has a copy, and really you can share it with anyone else that you feel is important.
Okay.
And there's a space right here where you write down who has a copy.
Oh, good idea.
So that's good. And it says on the 5 wishes, do not hide it in a safety deposit box. You want it to be
We want it to be used. That's
Right.
why we went through all this
you want it to be
anguish.
accessible. And there's this great little wallet card to let any EMS personnel that might come to your rescue, to let them know that you have a 5 wishes and who your healthcare agent is and where the document can be found.
Okay.
So
So now I have lots of viewers who are saying, oh, I need to get one of those because that's really a good idea. And we'll get together at Thanksgiving or Christmas or my birthday or some
Right.
other time when there's a gathering and go walk through this together. So how would they
so
get one of those?
if you're lucky enough to bump into me, I always have them with me, and many of the doctor's offices have them.
Okay.
You can always call the VNA and ask for the hospice department, and we can mail one to
Excellent.
the viewer. Or the website, the company is Aging with Dignity.
Okay.
So the website is www.agingwithdignity.org. And on the website, you can order a paper copy. You can get a copy online that you can print out and fill out. So on the website, all the information is there
Okay.
on how to get yourself a copy.
All right. Well, Sarah, believe it or not, we have like 1 minute left. So we have, it seems like we have it all covered. Is there anything else that people need to know about the 5 wishes or something that we haven't touched on that will drive away saying, oh, I should have said?
I think that the take-home message is to get one and fill it out.
Do it while you're healthy. Do it
Do it-
now.
do it while
no
you're-
age restriction.
Exactly.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, Sarah, for being here today. I appreciate it.
Jean.
That's good information.
Thanks very
Yeah.
much.
And I'm Jean Sarnowski, wishing you good health and good health care.